Would you be surprised to know that some of the most successful women of our time face challenges just like you and I do?
Hi, I'm Amber.
And I'm Lisa. We're authors of the book Leading Ladies. Discover your God-grown strategy for success.
We invite you to join us in an honest, messy bun conversation about the things we'd rather keep hidden in our lives.
Some of those things can keep us from moving forward in purpose.
So grab a cup of something delicious, kick off your shoes, and hang out with us for the next 30 minutes.
We're so excited to welcome you to our podcast today. And we are saying happy Saturday to you, right? At least for us, it's happy Saturday.
It's been an exciting week, hasn't it, Lisa?
It has. It's been a really exciting week. We've got so much to tell you about here this morning. Maybe some of you have noticed, but there's a little video playing on our social media, both for leadingladies.life and for our personal pages. Right now, big announcement, the website is up. The website is up. Yay! And it's absolutely beautiful. Amber,
big announcement. There's stuff. There's stuff that have to be
happening. Yeah. Amber did the website. She's very gifted. It's not her favorite thing to do, but she did it. It's beautiful. There might be a few kinks that we still have to work out, but that's okay. We're fixing them. It's going to be fine. Second thing is the song we've been telling you about for the past several weeks is now available. The song is called Lead Me On by Michaela Weaver. You have to get it. It's especially meaningful. It's a great song for all kinds of settings. We'll talk more about that later. So, how do you help us out with this endeavor? Right now, we want you to go to leadingladies.life. We want you to scroll. And as you scroll, or when you first turn on the page, a pop-up will come up that will talk about becoming a Leading Ladies VIP. Just go into the little drop-down boxes, put your name, your address, your email. It's not hard. We promise we're not going to give our list to anybody. You are not going to get spam. But when you do that and you get it entered correctly, I know a couple of people have messaged me saying they're having problems. Just try again. When you get it entered correctly, we will send you a welcome email with the link to Michaela's song. That's how you get the song. And then how can you help us even further? Share that little video that you see floating around on social media. It's on my page. It's on Amber's page. It's on the leadingladies.life page. You'll see me up in the corner talking in a little video. You'll see a picture of Michaela and the single. Share that. And hopefully we can get others to jump on board with us.
Yes.
And, get the song as well.
Yeah.
How are you doing this morning, Amber?
I am doing well. I took my morning walk with my hubby. We had some nice raining time walking around the pond this morning, but I'm really excited about the single as well. In fact, I started sending it out before it even was officially produced. Lisa sent me a rough cut and it really impacted me. And I listened to it over and over and wept many times. I sent it to many friends who's like, I want that song because I believe that it can really help me. One of the ladies who is in the book, she has anxiety on airplanes. She says, I just want to play this on loop when I get on an airplane. And that is such an exciting, I think, position to be in, that we can give this to you because of Michaela, because of what she has given us in our hands. And I just really am so excited about you just hearing the song. And there is a 30-second clip up on the website homepage, but 30 seconds doesn't really do it justice.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
It's a beautiful prayer set to music. I believe it will bless many people. And so we are so excited to give that to you.
And by the way, thank you, Michaela and Caleb Weaver. We love you. The Keepers Co. Go like their
and Caleb Schumer, who did the mastering.
Oh, Caleb Schumer.
To all of them. Thank you to all of you guys, the Keepers Co. We appreciate that. And
They make it look easy, but it's probably not.
no. And there were lots of little babies running around and lots of crying, and they did it all in the midst of that. Amen. Right. So cool. I just got a message from a friend that said, I just had a friend of mine, sign up and download the song, and she loves it. Yay.
Yay.
We have a talk this morning. For the past year, we've worked with these amazing women, and they've given us a lot to chew on. Influence is something for all of us, utilizing our gifts, talking about purpose, especially for us women as we go through seasons. We put things on the back shelf, or we think someday when. Your someday is right now, right where you're
Yes,
at.
exactly.
So today we are so excited to talk to you about going absolutely nowhere. And I think we've all been in that spot. Haven't you, Amber, where you just feel like
Yes.
you are going nowhere? And I like to call it being in the season of stuck. I'm stuck here. I don't know what the next step is. For some people, the reason why you're stuck is a very difficult thing right now. For
Yes.
others, it's a matter of maybe you're procrastinating. Maybe you just are afraid. We're going to talk about some of that today. Amber, what would you like to jump
Well,
into?
I know that I felt in a profound season of stuckness or frozen in my tracks, I guess, when my job of 16 years as the editor of Youth Magazine came to a close. Yes, I was very, very sick. God gave me a year to rest after my mental health break, but he didn't inform me that the end of my mental health break would culminate into going into fundraising. Now, I helped a lot of ministry organizations in that time. I gained a whole new perspective. I loved all the ministries I was working with, but it didn't really line up with what I felt God had put on my heart, my purpose, my degree, my passion. And I found myself saying, God, why did you give me this passion if I can't even operate in it?
Right.
And it was such a challenging period. And that's when I said, God, give me something. I'll even do what I do if I have to do it for free.
Ooh, those are
yeah.
scary words. Those are scary words, right?
But it really does sometimes take a big sacrifice
Exactly
to reconnect with your passion. And my passion was to encourage and support women as they fulfill their purpose. I thought it was teenagers, and I realized that really I had pinned down Christian women. And it took me reconnecting actually even with my high school yearbook to find, what did I really love? What was I really connecting with? And of course, Leading Hearts came back. Wasn't necessarily a paycheck that I could live on at the time. And being obedient to that time ended up releasing a lot of potential and possibility. It's actually brought me to this moment that I didn't even know was on the radar.
right.
I didn't even know. Lisa, you've probably have had moments like that.
Absolutely. Well, I can go back and count many moments. One in particular, I remember when, as a wife and a mother who chose to have several children and kind of spread them out a bit, there are moments where you get the impression as a mom, when you're taking care of your children and they're young and you're running and gunning, you start to get really lost, and you start to feel like your only purpose is to run and gun and take care of those children. And for that season, yes, there are seasons where the best purpose, the most important purpose you have as a mom in that moment is to just care about that little life. But then you come to a point a little bit further down the road where you start to learn to multitask, and you start to recognize, if I don't do something other than clean up diapers, turning around and maybe making sure the toys are picked up, wiping handprints off the wall, if I don't find a conversation with an adult to have soon, I'm going to lose my mind. And you kind of get to that point where you start to have the itch to move forward and do something a little bit more than just momming at the moment. And I know not everybody has this same type of scenario, but for me, I thought, okay, God, I can't just sit here on a shelf. I know there's still things that I could do to get the interaction. What could I do? And I had the idea to start a moms group. It was called Moms of Preschoolers. And I know that there are other organizations out there that do this. I can think of MOPS. We called it Moms on a Mission, I think, or something like that. And I started this little group so that I could walk in, be around other women, have conversation with them, listen to some great teaching sometimes, maybe even do a little cooking, have somebody come show us how to cook a new meal, all with childcare happening, so that I could have that interaction. And organizing that group at the time, I didn't realize it. It was meeting a need for me, but it was meeting a need for a whole lot of women. And if I hadn't just gone ahead and used the influence I had, and instead just said, oh, yeah, but nobody will come. Yeah, who's going to want to go to a group like that? Like, nobody's going to take the time. I mean, what kind of speakers can I get? Or what kind of activities could I plan that people would really want to do? If I hadn't done that, the group wouldn't have taken off. Even after I no longer had a preschool age child, that group continued to meet together.
Wow.
So I look back at that and say that was a season, a time in my life where, out of necessity for my sanity, as well as to help other moms, I was able to take this. I was stuck and I knew something had to happen. I wasn't sure what. Okay, God, help me find, what can I do right now, where I'm at in this season.
And you said something that was really interesting, that something that met a need in you also met a need in someone else. And I think that that's kind of somewhere where we find purpose, a need that's inside ourselves that also serves others. It's
exactly
not necessarily insular. I know you had mentioned a Facebook group, even that it didn't really take off, but
no, that was about a year and a half ago. I felt like I was supposed to start a Facebook page or group just to encourage women, wives mostly. The whole concept of the group was to give wives who are supposed to, we as spouses, we are support to our husbands, to our significant others, to our partners. And I felt like it was a way to help other women who felt like I did, like, okay, sometimes I don't feel like supporting. Sometimes I don't feel like I can be a support because I'm empty. And I thought I could be an encouragement. I could be an encouragement right now. The crazy part was that I started this page. It looked lovely. I started to put together pins. So many sweet friends joined. Some of you who hear this episode may even have joined. And I got a little conversation going, but really not very much. And I thought, what is happening? I'm trying to do what I feel like I'm supposed to do, and ain't nobody catching what I'm throwing. What do we do? And you know what? Now I look at what's happening right now on this platform with this book, and it's so much broader than just for wives or just for moms. It's for women from all different spaces. And look what's happening now. I feel like that was preparation for this. That was vision, hearing from the one who ultimately gives us the passion to begin with, and putting it into action, trying to put feet on it.
Well, you know what? At the beginning of this project, it kind of fell on my heart that God put this question in my heart. What do you see inside yourself that I've put there that makes you a leader? And I realized that question just wasn't for me. It was for many people. And as we've walked through these chapters and had people personally write, I felt myself profoundly moved by something I was supposed to do. And I don't think Lisa or I will ever be the same after moving through some of these stories. I know that one of the first stories I received back was from Tracy Hester, a dear, dear friend and author. And it really released me to talk about things that I hadn't been talking about before because I felt shame about them.
Right.
And it really encouraged me to be vulnerable, because it's in our vulnerability and it's in our shame that God can really shine. So I know that in telling my story and Tracy telling her story and all the ladies and Lisa telling her story, that God doesn't just provide the healing for others, he provides the healing for us when we just operate. I can see some things moving up to this moment. I would have never imagined a year and a half ago even doing a book, right, Lisa? Not even. It wasn't on the radar. And it just
No.
dropped into her lap out of nowhere. But I also can see how things connect. Like Lisa, you said with the Facebook page, things connected that you did not realize at the time that was actually going to be a service to you or give you the knowledge to do something like this. So it's
Exactly.
little building blocks all the time. Perceived stuckness might just be preparation for what's coming next.
I like
But it's
that.
also a time to take in and enjoy and be
Perceived,
aware.
perceived stuckness might just be a time of preparation to
Yes.
take in what's happening around you. I like that because sometimes we look at being stuck. Maybe this is something that's maybe I'm telling on myself. Sometimes I get stuck, and I know you and I have both talked about this, and we kind of procrastinate when we're stuck. And we can
Oh
do
my
that for
goodness.
different reasons. Like I will procrastinate when sometimes the task seems so large, or
Mhm.
when the task seems like it's going to be a hard one, heart-wise, to deal with. I will procrastinate and not just get on with it.
Mhm.
That is also a form of being stuck. Procrastination. How do you deal with that? What
You
do
know
you do?
what? I'm going to tell you a big secret. How about if I tell you a big
Tell
secret
it.
right now?
Tell the secret. Tell it.
When I am doing a magazine, the very last thing I do is write my own article. And
I know
I
this to be true.
procrastinate
I know this
so
too.
much. And I'm a writer, a writer. Why do I stay stuck in my head so long that I can't even put down what I need to put down until everything's at the end of it? I'm like, oh, I'm just going to put that off. I'm going to put that off. I'm going to put that off because I control the deadlines.
Right. Because you're the editor. You know when the actual last moment is to squeak in
Just
and get
slip
it
that
out.
in.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I want to kind of talk about what can we do when we find ourselves stuck? What are some simple tasks to help us get unstuck? And like I said, we're going to talk about being stuck on a much deeper level in a following episode, but we wanted to start the topic today. We recognize that there can be some pretty profound reasons for why we're stuck. And some of those things are really the hard things in life. And how do you take that step to move forward? Today, we're being a little lighthearted about it. But in all honesty, I feel like some of the things that we can do to get unstuck are similar. One of the first things is maybe evaluate where you are right now and take a deep look. Is there someone or something that is benefiting from you staying stuck?
Yes.
Is there some situation or some person that benefits from you staying stuck? And so you just stay there. That's
Mhm.
one thing. Another thing might be potentially you need to put yourself in a circle or in alignment, find your people, find your crew, people who will speak and call you into taking those steps and walking in all the goodness that you are. If you don't have your people, find your people. And the
Exactly.
other thing I have to attribute to Pastor George Westlake Sr., who pastored, we just celebrated his 50th year in ministry at our church last Sunday. Pastor Westlake would always use this concept: act your way into the feelings by doing. Just start taking little steps. Maybe one day it's just writing down on a piece of paper what it would look like if you weren't stuck anymore. Just casting the net, casting the vision as far and wide as you possibly can. Start that forward motion and movement. You know, Amber, you said something as we were talking, and I just kind of want to give you this so that you can really share more with them. But you said something pretty profound. You said, how did you put it? You were talking about if we don't recognize the impact that we have on others' lives, we won't ever be moved in our purpose.
That's exactly what I think we have to. I think there's a place where we get stuck in monotony. We get stuck in, oh, I'm getting up in the morning, I'm cooking, I'm getting everybody out the door, I'm working, I'm doing whatever. And we lose ourselves in our to-do list and we fail to see the connectedness of all we do. So there's some awareness that needs to take place. And sometimes that the awareness doesn't happen until you actually step away from the monotony of a situation, say, okay, I'm going to break away from this time. I'm going to write some things down. Maybe it's in your devotional time. What are the things I need to connect with? What are the things, God, you need me to see today? And just in general, what are the things you need to see today? How are you going to wake up to your impact on the people around you?
I do think that being aware is a huge part of this. Just being aware that something else is out there.
Yeah. Okay. Yesterday I went for a walk, but during that walk, instead of focusing on the beauty of looking at the birds and the flowers, Lisa, I have to admit, I was editing your little video that we put out, and I honestly did not remember walking around that pond. And it shows you the power of being on autopilot. You're trying to get a task done. You're doing it in a place where you should be looking around, paying attention, just looking at the trees, looking at everything around you. That can be a place where you get to. Are you acting? Are you living on autopilot?
Right.
You are never going to connect with purpose unless you connect.
My sweet friend Hazel says, sometimes we procrastinate. So if it's not perceived as perfect, we do have the perfect excuse of not enough time. It's true. Okay. I don't have enough time to make it perfect enough to step out and do it. That is so true.
Oh, that reminds me of one of the things that I did when I was writing for a long period of time. And that was part of my manic phase of writing. I just wrote and I did not care about mistakes or what other people thought. I just wrote what was on my heart, mistakes and all, and I posted it. And I think it was a little bit methodical in that way is I'm going to do this and it's going to be for me and I'm going to be okay with my mistakes showing. We kind of have to, if we move in purpose, we have to be moving in a way that we're not going to get stuck if it doesn't look just right, or if somebody criticizes us, or if our links don't work on our website properly. At some point, I know that I'm going to have a mistake and I'm going to have to correct something. But you know what? It's a learning experience. And if we don't give ourselves the humanity and grace to move in purpose when we know we're going to make mistakes along the way, then you're never going to connect and you're never going to grow.
Exactly. It kind of comes down to this whole thought process of, if we don't recognize the impact we have on others' lives, if we basically think we don't have an impact and that what we do right now just doesn't matter, if we don't appreciate those moments, if we don't intentionally connect with our life and our purpose, we will stay stuck. And you had mentioned earlier that it kind of reminds you of the movie Groundhog Day.
I'm sure a lot of people have seen that movie.
Bill Murray, he wakes up to the sound of an alarm and he starts his day, and it takes him a few dreams in to realize, wait a minute, I'm stuck in this dream. Why is he stuck in the dream, Amber? What's your interpretation?
I believe that he actually went through a process of being self-absorbed, doing whatever he wanted to do. And he even got to a point where being self-serving, it caused him so much distress, he committed suicide multiple times. And it is interesting that until he walked into really connecting with people, even though he was living the same day over and over, he dedicated himself to learning about people, enriching he learned to play the piano. He was on a mission to save lives and rescue people. It was a process he went through in monotony.
Exactly.
There is meaning in perceived monotony. Yeah. What can you be learning in that time? In a period of stuckness, he ended up growing internally profoundly.
Yeah, I agree.
So-
I think that's part of it too. There are no wasted moments. And you say, well, Lisa, wait a minute. I've gone through some moments that there's no way God, a good God, would ever say these moments are worth gleaning anything from. I believe even if you can't glean something, God can redeem. And you can learn through the redeeming, the redemption process of whatever that was you had to experience. And that's where this conversation can kind of take a deep dive. And I think what we want to do is take a pause and come back next week for the deeper aspect of what do we do when we're stuck because of loss, because of grief, because of trauma. And so next week may be a little more serious, but we wanted to get the conversation started this week because we feel like it's a powerful part of why we as women don't put feet on our dreams, on our passions, on our visions, why we don't feel like we have something worth offering. And so we do keep a lot of this lighthearted when we're here because Amber and I are just goofballs to begin with, to be totally honest. So it's not that we can't go deep. It's that we just kind of like to live in the happy thoughts. So we do want to express right now, once again, our gratitude for you joining us this morning. It's been a great conversation. Like we said, we have a lot of cool news from the week and we want to keep sharing it with you. So we're just going to go over all those little tidbits again. The website is up, leadingladies.life. Go to that website, take a look around. We are going to have all sorts of goodness. It's going to be the hub for all things Leading Life. It's also time for you to sign up to be a Leading Ladies VIP. How are they going to do that, Amber?
They are going to go to leadingladies.life. There will be a pop-up and it says become a Leading Ladies VIP. Put your information in and you'll get an email back that has the new release from Michaela Weaver that she did for Leading Ladies. It is an incredible song. We are blessed. I don't think very many book projects get to release music. Thank you, Michaela, again for giving that to us.
When you sign up, you get a little email back and that link to the song will be right there for you. MP3 form.
If you have email on your phone, you can open that up. You can download it to your phone. You can have it with you. It's a prayer that I have on repeat. It's something that we need to reconnect with over and over. Because we need it every morning. We need to know that we're moving in purpose every morning. So I'm really excited to share that with you. We'll have new things coming on the site. We'll have giveaways. We'll have merchandise.
Merch.
I keep trying to convince Lisa that I need to design a Leading Lady swimsuit and a sports bra. Do you think we can do that? See, put in the comments. Do you think I should do that?
The last thing that we want to ask you to do is to please take that little video that you see on my Facebook, Amber's Facebook, leadingladies.life. I'm in a little video up in the corner just talking about how to go online and become a VIP and get that download. There's a big picture of Michaela and the single. If you would just take that and share it on your social media, or take it and just send a note to your friends saying, go to leadingladies.life, sign up as a VIP member and get this song. If you would do that, it would be a huge blessing to us. And we believe it will be a blessing to you.
And on that note, I just want to say this really quick. Please do not just forward the email of the download because we really do want to connect with each of you ladies individually.
But don't share your download, please. Let people get their
share
download. There is purpose in everyone signing up individually as a Leading Ladies VIP. So we love you guys. We just pray that you have a fantastic week. So for this week, we just ask that you take a minute and start asking God to reveal to you the places you are stuck and maybe even some of the reasons why you are stuck. I believe He's just so good that He will give you insight and help you along the way. So we love you. We want you to know that we think the world of you and we can simply not wait to see you again.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.